Ladies and gentlemen, what is up, and welcome to today's Marvel Contest of Champions video guide on the best champions to awaken, in my opinion, as of June 2017. So the last kind of best champions to awaken video we did was around the release of 12.0, and it was kind of best champions to awaken 12.0 early thoughts, and that one wasn't really like much of an all-around solid video guide, and this is one of the questions that I always get on the channel. Throughout every live stream, we have this question like 10 times, is like, who should I use my generic awakening gem on, or my class one? So hopefully today, guys, along with a bit of an explanation and also this spreadsheet, finally done a spreadsheet for this to make it a little bit easier to dissect and share around as well. You know, if you want to share it with your alliance. Again, this is my opinion. Opinions may vary, but I think overall, like this is probably like the best order and what you should prioritize in terms of awakening characters and who you should use your generics and class ones on, and what to look out for, etc, etc. So kind of to talk you over through the spreadsheet, basically if somebody is gray, that is code for they are worthy of a generic awakening gem, and if they have a color associated to their class, then they're worthy of a class awakening gem. And if they're anything outside of that, I really do not suggest awakening them. I'd suggest either holding on to the gem, or, you know, if you do just have, like, loads of gems for one particular class, you can just awaken whoever you want at the end of the day. But for every class, we got some options, and I'll talk you through kind of, you know, how to efficiently use your gems and allocate that. So, anyway, we're going to start off with the mutant class and talk about the 5 characters there that are worth awakening. So, currently, the 2 that I've got for generic, worthy, like the 2 characters you just need to have awaken because they are huge game changers, are Wolverine and Archangel. So to start off with Wolverine, Wolverine's regeneration via his awakened ability is absolutely insane. It is like crazy bonkers. I got a Wolverine, I think it was like 2 and a bit months ago, and I've been using him like every round of Alliance Quest. It's so crazy because you can go one fight, you can mess up and like go down to about 20%, and then if you're a full bar of power within like a 10-15 combo, you can pretty much be back to 100% if you get really lucky with a regeneration. His regeneration from his signature ability is just so incredibly powerful. When he's fully maxed out, it's around like 20% of his full health, and again, that can proc, it can proc multiple times. Also, he has a base regeneration as well, so Wolverine is just a regeneration god. He is by far the best sustainable champion to play. So yeah, Wolverine is just like, if you have him, like, you're sorted for Alliance Quest in terms of clearing, and if you're occasionally a little bit of a scrub player like me, he's going to be very, very useful for all that stuff. Now, the next character we have is a bit of an interesting one. So, before 12.0, Black Widow was like the kind of go-to champion that everybody wanted to play, mainly for reducing defensive ability accuracy and dealing with a lot of the annoyances. But now that champion, especially in the top tiers of Alliance War, has very much shifted toward Archangel. Archangel, such an incredibly powerful character, so his awakened ability gives her his neurotoxin a minus, it's up to minus 35% defensive ability accuracy reduction. So if you can get 2 stacks of that and parry, that is minus 100% ability accuracy reduction. As well as that, he hits like an absolute truck. It's absolutely insane. Also, when his neurotoxin expires, if you've again got like 2 or 3 stacks on the opponent, and there are scenarios where you can even have like potentially like 5 to 8 stacks if you're really, really lucky. You can bypass like the stun immunity on like bosses in Alliance War. So I've seen so many kill videos of like 550 Archangels taking down like rank 4 magics in Alliance War. It's absolutely insane. But again, Archangel, he kind of does really rely on being awakened, because that's going to give you the minus ability accuracy reduction on your neurotoxin and also the heal block. So yeah, such a powerful character for Alliance War attack there, and just a great all-around damage dealing character. So I really do highly rate him. And then next up we have Iceman. So Iceman's signature ability is amazing for Alliance War defense. It's kind of what makes the character. But again, I would prioritize kind of Wolverine and Archangel over Iceman, because Iceman, if you're playing Iceman, he doesn't need to be awakened to be good, but having his awakened ability is very, very helpful to have when you're playing him offensively. But if you do want to use this guy for defense, he definitely does need to be awakened. So he's a good one to save the gem for. Then also Rogue. I think Rogue is is by far the best character in terms of the mutant class for prestige still. Like, she's a very, very fun character to play. You get critical life steal and power steal when she's awakened, so she's a good option to use a class awakening gem on. I've got Deadpool Red down there. This isn't really applicable for most people outside of the 3-star version, but if you get a 3-star Deadpool Red, he's a very, very good champion to have awakened. However, like, I've played a lot of, you know, I haven't played a 4-star Deadpool Red, but I feel like the 4-star Wolverine has even more regeneration potential than Deadpool Red. But then again, if you are one of the lucky few that has this character, again, he's very, very rare because he's only available in that one arena, like back sometime last year, then yeah, he's probably worth using a generic on, but again, he's such a rare character. But if you do have a 3-star, like, chuck a gem on him, he's very much worth it. I think, talking about some characters that I may have talked up in the past in terms of awakening, X23, with a conversion to, like, crit rating instead of flat values, her awakened ability in terms of its value has gone really, really down. She does not need to be awakened to be good anymore. Nightcrawler's good to have awakened. If you have maybe a spare gem and want more damage out of him in terms of defense, it's a bad idea to have Nightcrawler awakened because he's easier to fight. So yeah, a little bit of a pro and con there. Psylocke seems like an alright character to have awakened, but again, I didn't want to give you like too many options to go with because, you know, nobody's completely rolling in 4-star awakening gems. So yeah, apart from that, I just think a lot of these characters, a lot of the mutant characters, they're pretty strong, they're alright, but like these 5 just absolutely, like, they dominate. They are so incredibly good. It's mainly the top 4 for most people though. So yeah, those are the 4 that I recommend, you know, getting awakened. Now we move on to the Mystic class. So Dr. Voodoo, I would say, is by far the best option for a Mystic character to awaken, because awakening Dr. Voodoo pretty much gives you full control over the character. So incredibly powerful. Dr. Voodoo is great for Alliance War, Alliance Quest, like questing in general. Just one of the genuine god tier characters at the moment. Scarlet Witch is still a very, very good character. She's still a little bit unreliable, so if you are going to awaken Scarlet Witch, make sure you have a lot of stones ready to pump into her, because you are going to need that in order to get like a decent amount of reliability out of her. But genuinely speaking, I think for most people, they're leaning toward Dr. Voodoo at the moment, and I would kind of recommend going for that. So, the next 3 characters that I would say are worth a class gem, you have Dormammu. So Dormammu is an exceptional Alliance War defender. When he's awakened, very much does rely on that, because that converts any buffs, has a really strong chance to convert buffs on the attacker into degeneration damage, and that just makes him pretty insane. Very much like Iceman for that, but doesn't do much offensively. Magic is just a great champion to have awakened, especially if you want her for Alliance War defense for those constant limbos. Ghost Rider, really, really strong champion to have awakened. You get that additional attack buff, it's more damage, it's more judgment to play around with, so you can get even stronger like regeneration, fate sealing judgments, power draining judgments, so that's pretty valuable as well. But yeah, like there's a lot of competition for these gems, especially in the Mutant and Mystic class, so that's why, you know, I've said like a few characters, use your generics on. So in terms of the skill class, I really think at the moment there's only 2 characters that like ideally need to be awakened. I think Gwenpool's very, very good to have awakened, because for every combo you reduce the defensive ability accuracy of your opponent by 2%. So after 50 combos, your opponent cannot trigger anything. That's so incredibly good when Gwenpool is awakened. And it also caps the amount of damage she can receive from a special attack by a certain percentage of her health, but that's not really what you want Gwenpool awakened for. It's mainly that defensive ability accuracy reduction. And also Daredevil OG, such a powerful character with his like guaranteed auto evade, still really, really good for like map 6 in Alliance Quest and also Alliance War. A lot of people like using him for certain lanes, still very, very valuable character. Elektra's also a really good character, but she doesn't really need to be awakened. She doesn't need it, much like X23. They're both like pretty badass characters and awakened, so it doesn't really need it. So that's why I haven't allocated like any champions that I think are worth a generic in skill, because there are like 2 champions that, you know, there are only two champions that need to be awakened. So yeah, I wouldn't use it. You know, there are better characters to use it on, is I guess the point I'm trying to get across. So in the tech class, we have Star-Lord. Star-Lord, in my opinion, just the biggest MVP in the game if you get him. This is like the ticket to getting through. If you can get Star-Lord and awaken him, he's the ticket to getting through pretty much like all of the content in the game. That's pretty much the simplicity of it. A lot of people, especially since patch 12.0, can even do Labyrinth of Legends in kind of under 2 Odins with a rank 5 level 50 Star-Lord, because it's become significantly easier. So, you know, if you get Star-Lord and you awaken him and take him up to 550, that's pretty much your ticket to some really, really crazy rewards and a ton of other, like, 550 characters from all the catalysts you get there as well. So, yeah, really, really do rate Star-Lord as the best character overall to awaken with a generic. And then in terms of class like Vision OG, if you ever get this dude from a deal, he's an exceptional character to awaken. Very, very good if you play slow, especially with Tech Collar, and also Vision Age of Ultron. Both of these characters, to be super awesome, do very much rely on being awakened. You have characters like Rocket Raccoon and Ultron. They're good characters. They don't really need to be awakened, though. Rocket Raccoon, very similar story to X-23, now that his signature ability is reliant on, you know, it gives him rating instead of a fixed % chance. It's just so much less valuable now. It's still good, it's still nice to have, but it's nowhere near as valuable as it used to be. So yeah, it's a potential, you know, if you've got all these characters awakened, but one thing to bear in mind with the tech class is that I think we are going to have quite a few tech characters coming up toward the end of the year if they're going to add in all these Spider-Man villains. So I reckon like Doc Ock and Green Goblin, they have a good chance to be tech characters, so there might be some additional value to be found in there. But also Punisher 2099 isn't on this list. Not really too sure about him and his awakened ability yet. It seems pretty good though, so he might make it to a character worth awakening it, depending on whether or not Punisher 2099 is a decent champion. And then penultimately we move into the science column, where I don't think you have any champions that are like just super, super amazing and are reliant on being awakened. But all these characters, they're very, very nice to have awakened. Cap World War II for that additional block. Hulk for like the crazy, crazy damage. Spider-Man for the evade if you're going to use him in Alliance War Defense. And Quake for the additional kind of block mitigation. That one, like, it isn't super useful, but it's very, very nice if you want to take Quake up to rank 5 for prestige, and a lot of people are doing that as their first rank 5 option. So yeah, Quake's she's pretty decent, like, if you can play her well. So I'd say she's a good character to invest a class 1 in. But again, it's not going to do as much as it will for like Spider-Man, Hulk, or Cap. But yeah, she's a good character to have awakened. But anyway, let's talk about Cosmic finally. So by far, this is like by far the best Cosmic champion, and I cannot stress this enough. By like an absolute landslide, Hyperion is just so much better than every other Cosmic champion at the moment. He is just insanely, insanely OP. So he should be your #1 for a Cosmic gem. And then second, I think it's probably King Groot, because if you have Hyperion, I've also highlighted Thor and Drax, because they're kind of like, they're good champions to have awakened if you want either one of them awakened to deal a lot of damage. But once you have Hyperion, who deals like double the damage of both of them and is poison immune and has the stun on his special too, like Incinerate and all that crazy stuff, you just don't really need Thor and Drax. They become a little bit redundant there, but you know, they're interesting to bear in mind. So Hyperion, you know, it just icing on the cake having this character awakened. Gives him increased buff duration by up to 50%, so more duration on your Fury, more power gain. Really, really good stuff there. And then King Groot. King Groot relies on being awakened to have regeneration. Again, he's a fairly new character. Not a lot of people have acquired him yet, but if you have King Groot, he's poison immune. You have like constant regeneration, so he's a possible rank 5 option if you need a bleed immune character that just has like sustainable regeneration to take into like Alliance Quest or maybe some sort of event in the future. But yes, that's pretty much the advantages of King Groot there. There are also some other maybe options in the Cosmic class, like Phoenix. You could maybe awaken for prestige, but again, you know, if they're not highlighted, guys, I really think that they aren't a priority to awaken, or they don't really like benefit that much from being awakened. But anyway, finally, we have the overall list. So this is overall in terms of the generic gems and kind of which order I'd use them in. I'd go, again, this can vary for you, you know, if you have a different priority, if you're trying to focus on something else, but overall, I think you should awaken Awaken Star-Lord first, because again, he's going to be your ticket to a lot of that big endgame stuff. Then Dr. Voodoo, then Wolverine, then Archangel, then Scarlet Witch. But obviously, one of the very important things to constantly keep in mind is, are any of these characters coming, you know, if you've got an Awakening gem and it's a choice between one or two of them, always look at like the MCSU Tricos website, get up the arena schedule, and see if like any characters that you need to awaken are coming up to arena soon. And if they are, then maybe instead of using Awakening gem, you can grind out for that character in arena and awaken them that way. So that's just something to bear in mind, guys, a bit of a pro tip there. But aside from that, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you have any additional comments or thoughts, feel free to leave them in the description of the video. That'd be very much appreciated. I meant to say the comment section there, guys. It's been a long day for sure. But anyway, hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, feel free to smash that like button. That'd be greatly appreciated. Apart from that, thank you very much for watching. Take care, and I hope that you have an absolutely fantastic day.